We all know stories about great creators, right? But what happens when we flip the script and listen to the creation? What happens when the thing we've made turns around, looks us in the eye, and starts to tell its own story? Well, today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're diving deep into a Gothic masterpiece to hear a tale of loneliness, of revenge, and of a creator's ultimate, terrible responsibility.
So, let's start inside the mind of Victor Frankenstein. He's not just grieving, he's being eaten alive by his own secret. The innocent Justine has just been executed for a murder that Victor knows his own creation committed. He's trapped in this private hell, a prison of guilt that he, and he alone, built.
In this first part, we're really going to see Victor just completely unravel. The love of his family, his father's gentle advice, Elizabeth's deep concern, none of it can even touch him. Why? Because he's hiding this monstrous truth. He's basically a ghost in his own home, totally isolated by the one secret he can't bring himself to share. And just look at the damage this secret is causing. It's like a poison spreading through his whole family. His dad is trying to help, but he has no idea what's really going on. Elizabeth, his soulmate, is starting to see the world as this monstrous place, never guessing that a literal monster is the cause of it all. And Victor? He knows he's the real killer here, but his ego, his fear, it keeps him silent. He lets an innocent person die. It's a profoundly selfish act that tells you everything you need to know about his character at this point.
Elizabeth can see it. She can see this darkness twisting him up inside, but she just can't figure out why. This quote is so powerful because it shows just how close she is to the truth, and yet how far away Victor keeps her. She sees revenge in his eyes, and man, is that some chilling foreshadowing for what's to come.
So what does he do when he can't face the people he loves? He runs. He flees to the giant, imposing mountains of the Alps. He's hoping that the sheer scale of nature, this classic romantic idea of the sublime, will somehow make his own man-made problems feel small and insignificant. But let's be real, it's also a total escape from his responsibilities. He's looking for a cure in the mountains for a sickness he cooked up in a lab. And this little escape trip, it leads to, and I am not exaggerating, one of the most incredible, most iconic scenes in all of literature. High up on a glacier, on a literal sea of ice, Victor's getaway is about to be cut short, because the very thing he was trying to run from is walking right toward him.
The setting here is just perfect. It's empty, it's vast, it's totally inhuman. It's the perfect stage for this reunion. And notice Victor's immediate reaction. He doesn't see a person, or even a being. He sees a wretch. His mind is already made up, locked on disgust and hate before a single word is even spoken.
Wow, just look at the contrast here. It is absolutely stunning. Victor, the educated, civilized man, just explodes with rage. He offers nothing but insults and violence. And the creature, the so-called monster, he responds with this incredible eloquence, with logic, and with a desperate plea for something so simple, justice. He's not even asking for love, he's just asking to be heard.
The creature's whole argument is basically this. I was born good, but misery made me what I am now. And you, he says to Victor, you started it all when you rejected me. So you have a duty, a responsibility, to hear my side of the story. He completely forces Victor to face the consequences of his actions.
And you know what's wild? Victor agrees. Maybe it's curiosity, maybe it's fear, maybe it's a tiny flicker of that duty the creature mentioned, but he agrees to listen. And with that, the entire novel just flips on its head. We leave Victor's perspective, and for the first time we hear the story from the creature himself, starting from his very first confusing moments of life.
And this sequence is just brilliant. It shows us his development not as a monster, but as a child. He starts out like a newborn, completely overwhelmed by sensations. He learns about the world through trial and error, all on his own. It's a story of pure innocence and wonder, right up until that final, soul-crushing step, when he finally sees himself and understands why the world fears him.
You have to understand, this family, the de Lacys, they become the creature's entire world. He watches them through a tiny crack in the wall, and through them he learns what it means to be human. He sees their love, their sadness, and he grows to absolutely adore them. He even helps them out secretly, gathering firewood for them at night like some kind of helpful spirit.
But here's the tragedy. The more he learns, the more he suffers. Learning about human society, about family and love, only highlights everything he doesn't have. He has no name, no history, no one who looks at him without screaming. This question, this is the absolute core of his pain.
So all this hope he's been quietly building up, this desperate desire to connect, it's all about to come to a head. He's armed with language and love, and he's about to make his move. But his education in what it means to be human is about to get very, very dark. Before he even works up the courage to meet the family, he stumbles upon Victor's journal from the lab. I mean, can you even imagine that? Reading the detailed notes of your own creation, only to find out that your creator, your own father, found you so repulsive that he literally ran away in horror? That's the moment he understands just how alone he truly is. Still, he holds on to hope. His plan is smart. He'll approach the old man, who is blind, first. He'll win him over with his words before anyone can judge him by his looks. And it starts to work. The old man is kind and compassionate, but then the kids come home. Agatha faints, Safi runs, and Felix, in a blind panic, just brutally attacks the creature and drives him away. In one instant, his greatest hope is just shattered.
And this right here, this just lays out the heartbreaking pattern. Every single time the creature acts with kindness, humanity responds with fear and violence. He saves a girl's life, and he gets shot for it. This is the crucial takeaway. His evil isn't something he was born with. It's something he learned from us.
And this is the snap, the final straw, when even a child, Victor's little brother William, screams in terror and calls him a monster. Something inside him just breaks. He commits his first deliberate act of evil, and it's an act of pure revenge, aimed squarely at the man who started it all, his creator.
Okay, so all of that brings us right back to the present moment, on top of that glacier. The creature has finished his story. He's made his case, he's shown his evidence, and now he makes his final, world-changing demand.
And listen to how he phrases this. He doesn't just ask for a companion, he demands it as a right. He's basically telling Victor, you brought me into this world without my consent and left me totally alone. You owe me a chance at happiness. You owe me an Eve for your Adam. So, let me just ask you, put yourself in Victor's shoes for a second. What would you do? Do you give in to the request of this being, a being who murdered your brother, on the off chance he'll just disappear forever? Or do you say no, knowing it means signing up for a lifetime of war with something stronger, faster, and more resilient than you?
And Victor is completely torn. On one hand, the creature's story actually got to him. He admits it has some justice. But on the other hand, he's terrified. He knows what the creature is capable of. So in the end, it's this messy combination of compassion, duty, and just sheer paralyzing fear that makes him agree. He consents. And that's it. The promise is made right there on that mountain of ice. Victor agrees to this abhorred task, and in doing so, he binds his fate to his creations, setting the stage for the final, absolutely devastating act of this story.
But it leaves us with this one last, huge question to chew on. Was this decision an act of compassion? Was Victor finally trying to do the right thing and fulfill his duty? Or was this just another breathtaking act of hubris, another moment of him playing God, thinking he could control the consequences and fix his first mistake by making an even bigger one?